Hey everyone, today is Wednesday, April 15th, 2026, and this is the International Outreach Think Tank meeting. And anybody have the Bivens up where you can read it for us? And if you guys are looking for the Bivens, I could also pull it up on my computer too. But I'm going to lead us off in a prayer. Divine Creator, source of all that is, we call upon your infinite love and wisdom to surround us this evening. We step into this meeting with unwavering faith, knowing that we are divinely protected, guided, and blessed beyond measure. We surrender our fears, our doubts, and our worries. We release all that no longer serves us. We let go of resistance, and in its place, we welcome the radiant light of divine favor. We are covered by an impenetrable shield of divine protection. No negativity, no fear, and no limitation can touch us. We are surrounded by light. We are guarded by love. We walk in divine safety wherever we go. Tonight, we declare that blessings are flowing into our lives and our assemblies effortlessly. Every door that was once closed is now opening. Every obstacle is now dissolving. Every delay is transforming into divine timing. Breakthroughs are happening right now. We are stepping into reality where abundance, joy, success are our birthright. The universe is aligning circumstances, people, and opportunities in our favor. Divine Source, fill us with your wisdom and let our thoughts be inspired, our words uplifting, and let our actions create ripples of kindness and love in the world. We declare that this meeting be filled with grace, miracles, and unexpected blessings. So think it, so feel it, so speak it, so be it. It is done, it is done, it is done. All right, guys, we've got the Bivens up. Anybody want to read it? I can pull it up here if you don't have it. Just let me know.
I can read it if you want.
Yeah, who is that? I'm sorry.
It's David Brusche.
Beautiful. Thank you, David. Go for it.
You're welcome. This meeting is private, bearing false witness, misrepresentation, and posting inflammatory rhetoric in public forums is forbidden and shall be addressed in an appropriate manner. To eliminate all conflict and false allegations, is there anyone in attendance at today's meeting that is a member or agent of any law enforcement agency or public agency of the federal, state, county, city, or township agencies present? Is there a response to the Bivens decision for the first time? Is there a response to the Bivens decision for the second time? Is there a response to the Bivens decision for the third time? Anyone who is here under false pretenses, anyone who is working for any foreign government, including the territorial United States or municipal United States, anyone who is being paid or coerced to be here must fully disclose their presence and purpose now or leave the premises, or in this case, the call. If they subsequently show up as federal witnesses, they are discredited for failure to disclose.
Beautiful. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right. I'm going to open the floor up to anybody that would like to share any outreach wins on your state, meaning like, you've had some success outreach. You were able to convert some ASNs through your outreach. If anybody wants to share, I'm going to go ahead and open it up now. Nobody's got nothing to share? All righty then.
Hey, Tammy.
Yes, go ahead, Andrew.
Hey, it's not a big success. I just been talking to some people, and I guess it's good to let everybody know because hopefully this is for all of us, So I've been in contact with Provost Marshall down in Fort Knox, Kentucky. He's the provost for this area. They have the same kind of like our postal area. They travel in a 4-state area themselves, I think. So I've been talking to him and some adjutant generals, and I have been in contact with the U.S. Marshal from the Northern District of Ohio, and kind of filling them in that we do now have continental marshals that are going to be getting with them, just trying to prepare them for what's coming. And that's about it. I mean, it's a lot more than that, It's
Yeah,
kind of new talking to these guys, because they're really clueless on what's going on themselves. So trying to fill them in, it's almost like trying to teach them, but I really don't want to teach them anything. I want to tell them how it is, and that's it. But I yield.
that's excellent outreach, actually, Andrew. Awesome. I mean, yeah, and I think we do have to look at it as we are educating them, right? Like our goal is to educate and inform because they're just kind of in the dark, but and coming at it in a peaceful manner where we're looking to build bridges and collaborate and have cooperation. I mean, I think that's really how we're going to get this done. So excellent. I mean, keep us informed, on your success and the reception, like how they're receiving it. And I'd love to hear more about that. Yeah, thank you for sharing that. Anybody else? Could be anything that you've done for outreach. Maybe it was an interaction you had with somebody. I mean, every little thing helps, right? Gwen, I see your hand going up. Go ahead. Can you unmute yourself?
Yeah, I can unmute. Sorry, my camera's coming and going.
That's
So
okay.
on Alberta, there's an interesting thing going on. They are gathering signatures because they wish in de facto to separate from Canada and become American. So this weekend, I thought, I should be reaching out to these people because they need to realize that it's a great idea, but you're on the wrong team. And so we're starting that. So it was really good because actually, as I pulled up for church on Sunday, there was somebody already in the parking lot, and so I had a good conversation with the woman, basically going into church, and then for about an hour after, because I gave her just enough so she would be interested. And come to find out, her father is actually 87 years old. He's got all his faculties about him, and he's excited because he's looking for us. And so, yeah, now it's just like we got to think of maybe a business card or something that we can create so that when you're meeting people on the street, something that you haven't really planned, that we're already prepared. So that's another thought we had. Anyhow, I yield.
That's beautiful. And just so you know, Gwen, check out the Ice Drive accounts because I know that other assemblies have put business cards together. I think Pennsylvania has some business cards that they've created. And you could very easily take out their info and put your info. It kind of saves you half the time.
That would be amazing.
To create something brand new. So,
Yeah, Tammy, that's a great idea. I was going to say that too, that, I don't know who put it together, but I think Louise has a postcard on the Ice Drive that, you just change the verbiage to some Canadian stuff and bingo.
yeah, I mean,
that would be awesome.
even the brochures, like why, I believe it's, why you want to correct your political status and, there's all sorts of material. Just the links, by the way, are now on two things. Vicki created a flyer that has all of our links, including the link for the meeting, and our agenda. When I put this agenda out, it's kind of like something to keep us on task, but it's also a resource for us. So, and those two things will go out once a month. Every time we have these meetings, I'll share that out, and that way everybody has it. But excellent, yeah, awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I was lucky because Vicki sent them to me last year after the reunion. So, thank you, Vicki. I yield.
Yeah, and I love that's the whole point of sharing the resources is because it'll save you so much time. I know for us, when we were starting our county tours, Louise had already drafted up the postcards. And so we took that and we created our flyers from that, and and then took it and did postcards too. But and then Vicki did took Louise's brochure, but then created it with less colors, which helps with costs. And so there's so much that everybody is doing in their time, and if we could collaborate and use each other's material, it really does save us time. So
Yeah, Tammy.
yes.
Yeah, so California put together, I don't know, 9 months ago or so, a business card and a flyer. Pretty nice. So that's a resource. You can go to the California Assembly link tree, and it should still be there. It's, last time I checked, it was in downloadable form, printable form. So you can go have it printed. It's pretty good stuff. We worked on that for quite some time and came up with some good stuff.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thanks for sharing that.
You're welcome.
Excuse me, David. May I, Tammy? What is
Yeah.
California's website address?
The California, let's see. I haven't been really participating lately, so I'm caught off guard with that question. Sorry. But the
Put it in the
link tree,
chat
but
when you
if
find
you
it. Yeah.
but if you go to the link tree, it's the California Assembly, right? All small letters.
Okay. Is it the Sovereign 22 link tree?
Let me pull it up here and I'll
Tree.
okay.
I don't think it's on the Sovereignty 22
No.
link tree. I think
No,
it's
it's
the
not.
California's own link tree.
Yeah, it's our own link
Okay.
tree. I'm sorry, I
Got
didn't
it.
get what you were saying. Yeah, it's just the California Assembly. It's our own link tree.
Okay, got it. I see it now. I got it. Thank
There
you.
you go. So you should be able to find the flyer and the card there. I believe it's still there. I haven't looked for a while, but it should be there.
All right. Okay, moving on along here, we've got I've got a couple of interesting interviews scheduled in the next couple of weeks. I'm not going to say what it is, but I'm having two different special guests. And so look out for those interviews. Probably it should be completed and uploaded onto the American States Assembly's podcast, YouTube, and BitChute channel at the end of the month. I am still looking for more state assemblies, to get together with me and either do a recap, maybe it's a welcome back for your state assembly if you were already on the podcast, or it's brand new. I mean, I'd love to get all 50 states represented. So, if you want to reach out or get together with your assembly and, and try to schedule something and just know that it doesn't have to be like a whole panel of people. I've done it where, some assemblies want like their entire assembly to come on and that's too much. And then we've had others that I've had as little as just one member come on. So whoever is comfortable coming on, I can't do more than 5. 5 is the maximum. All right. And let's see, outreach flyer. I already went through that. Vicki, I'm going to hand it over to you to talk about the family reunion in Philadelphia.
Okay, I just put the QR code in the chat for everyone. So you have that. So just an update, we've been working on finding a hotel, and once we did that, now they have a contract. So we sent the contract to Lisa to review, and they're just adding on all kinds of extra costs. So we're going to sit down and have some negotiations with them, or pick another hotel. So that's not exactly set in stone yet. We've had 185 people sign up for the event, and we are creating an email that will go out to everyone who has signed up for the event, with the hotel information, and then also with a list of questions that we would really appreciate if they would get back to us with answers, so it'll help us in creating the events that we would like to be working on for this week in that area. So we're getting it together as quick as we can, as quick as we're having cooperation with everyone, and we'll get it out as fast as we can. Are there any questions or comments or any? Okay, awesome. Well, I hope I'll see all you guys there. That'd be awesome.
I did have, and I think you and I spoke about this, but I'd like to see, from everybody else, what type of topics they would like to see covered as far as presentations go at this, because I think the last couple of family reunions, I think the first one we didn't have anything that was like technically planned for a presentation. I think it was just kind of winging it. And then the second time around, there was planned presentations. And I want to say Sherry, I believe her name is Sherry, from Georgia, Michelle Ford, and Lisa gave presentations. And so it'll be nice to hear from other people and learn about different topics, something that would help our assemblies. And so I'd love it if there hasn't been a survey done already. I'd love to see what other people are interested in learning and presenting on.
Yes, and that is one of the series of questions that will be on that email that goes out. Like, one of the things is that in all these hotels, their meeting rooms, they literally want like $400 for 2 hours. And so are people willing to help with the cost of that, for education, or is everybody coming just to get to know everybody and socialize and do fun things together and, pass information around that way? So we are still looking for meeting rooms or any kind of meeting places that we can figure out. Like in Ohio, when we went to that winery, we had a kind of a learning session there with question and answer. So we're looking around for things like that. And yes, and we're also asking for anybody who has any topics that they could present or any ideas on educational ideas that they would like to see. So.
Beautiful. Anybody have any comments or suggestions? Hi, Pietra. I know that you were at the family reunion this past September. Is there any topics that you feel like you would like to hear about or?
Well, it was a fabulous time. It was, I'm looking forward to doing it every year. What we personally struggle with is recruiting, outreach. It's hard to grow. So I think a lot of counties would benefit on that, not necessarily a state environment, but a county environment. So like a short education piece, like I was watching one of yours, Tammy, that you were going over, and then you also went through the Bivens decision and kind of dumbed it down as to what it really means. And so little segments of understandable information, not complicated government structure to grasp. Like Gwen had mentioned, she gave that woman just enough information for her to want to come back and have more. So little things like that for suggestions, I think would be helpful to grab the stranger into wanting to find out more about it.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
yeah.
So outreach, and I know Vicki
Yeah.
you had suggested perhaps, something on outreach.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we also, I forgot, we also created a interactive map with like historic events and wineries, breweries, places to eat, places to stay. So that'll be kind of fun that everybody can explore the area and just click on the things on the map, and it's interactive for you.
Awesome. That's
Yeah.
nice. Yeah. All right, moving on. Thank you, Vicki, for
Sure.
sharing all that. Okay, so I did want to, Bart isn't on here, and I know he hasn't been able to make the meetings recently, but he shared this with us on Telegram. We've got our Telegram channel, and he created a website. It's on the agenda, and it's www.tacitchat.com. And then there's also a link for a YouTube video where he shows you how the functions of that work. It is a subscription. I believe it's $10 a month. But basically, it's a website. I think the way that well, actually, I could read it to you. Give me a second of his explanation for it. Hold on. Let's see. Okay, so he built this for researching documents relevant for the American state assemblies and really any state national in the world who is looking to get up to speed while fully seating the state assembly for their nation state. The function of the website is that it is what it's called as a retrieval augmented generation, RAG for short, chat user interface. Just like ChatGPT, but only searches through Anna's public documents. Its job is to cross-reference Anna's articles and to help the user make connections that they would not have otherwise made with the limited number of articles they have already read. So far, the database is only updated to Article 5721. This is from a couple weeks ago, so it may be updated more now, but he will be adding the remaining articles. Well, he said this week, so they're probably added by now. The app is not officially associated with the American States Assemblies, but Bart Drager, he's a member of the Oklahoma Assembly, and he has built the app in support of the education of all state nationals around the world. He plans to add in Anna's free PDF books and other publicly available books as he gets a hold of them, and video transcripts and helpful websites, really anything else we can think of. And so he's just asked to share this. And so, I added it because that's a resource and a tool for anybody who wants to use it. All right, anybody have any questions on that? All righty. I did also want to report that the PKTF, Joe, has started a podcast channel, and it's not a video podcast, it's an audio podcast, and you can get it on Podbeam. It's an app, and I included the link for the website on the agenda. Okay, so you guys can grab it on there. I already started listening to it, some really great stuff, and so. It's a great tool to share for education pieces. Any questions with that? All right. County tour project update. Right now, we don't really have anything of significance to report on for our county tours, except that we decided that we are going to share the slide presentation, and we actually changed the slide presentation up and actually created it in such a way that it focuses more on the structure of our government. We feel that people, from what we're gathering and kind of the feedback that we're getting thus far, and we've only done 2 county tours so far, but it seems as though people are joining specifically just for the inheritance. And even though that is a big part of, the fraud that's taking place, we want to start attracting people that want to actually get a government standing. We want people coming to the table and coming and being a part of our assembly that has, a love and a passion to get the government standing, not just the banking aspect and the inheritance aspect. And so we kept a lot, probably a good amount of the things that we had from our previous slide presentation in there, but we changed it up and added some other slides to really hone in on and put more of a focus on the government. And in doing that and changing it up, we also decided that we were going to divide up the presentation so that it's not just coming from me. Quite honestly, I'm tired of hearing myself talk. And I've been doing outreach and these kinds of presentations for 4 years now, and I'm tired. And not only that, but I think it's going to spice things up, and people will, I think it would make it more interesting to hear other people from our assembly give the presentation and give it in their own personality. And also it'll get our people used to giving presentations, and they're not doing a whole presentation all at once. They're doing just a small part of it. And I think as we go along, it's going to help build some confidence and just getting people used to being in front of a crowd and giving this information, and so I'm really looking forward to that. The people, Patisa from New Jersey, who's on this meeting tonight, she's going to be one giving it. And Patisa has written a book, and I know she's also helping. She's a recording secretary for us. Our Marshal at Arms is also going to be helping out with the presentation, and Alice's son Phil. He's not on the call tonight, but Phil is in sales, and Phil has a really great knack for sales. Like he's funny. He has such a great sense of humor, and this comes natural to him. So I'm really excited to see how that all works out for us. Again, we're going to be doing it live. We finally figured out, as embarrassing as it is, we were using YouTube, and we didn't figure out that when you turned the camera to landscape, that you actually have to set the settings for it to record in landscape mode. So the last 2 times we turned it to landscape, but it stayed in the other format, and I had to redo it. And so it's like, all I had to do was hit this button. How easy, but who knew? So, we're learning a lot as we go along. So I'm excited for that. We're trying to lock down our next venue. And I will say that trying to secure a library room, they ask a whole bunch of questions. And I'm telling you, like, are you a non-for-profit? Are you going to sell something? What's the name of your organization? And what are you going to be teaching? And like all these things. And it's like, really, is that any of your business? You know what I mean? So, we try to be as brief and vague as possible, but we also want to be honest and integral. So that has been a bit of a challenge. And this time around, we are doing our county tour after Memorial Day, and our canvassing is going to be at the Memorial Day parade by the in the town in which we will be giving the county tour, like a week or 2 later. So these are kind of the things that are different and new based off of our experience and what we've done thus far. And And that's about it. I mean, Patisa and Alice, if I forgot something, or if you want to add anything, please just unmute yourself and share. Alice, Patisa, anybody?
No, I think everything you said, mostly everything. So I can't think of anything right now.
All right, beautiful.
Yeah, you covered it very well, Tammy.
Okay. Alrighty. So so that's the update of our county tours. I'll leave it, we have both of them from the from the event on our YouTube channel. So if anybody wants to watch it, and also we're open to feedback, so if anybody has seen it and they want to give us some feedback, please feel free to just email me. We'd love to get feedback. Louise, go ahead.
I just like to make this observation that I'd like to share. In being involved with my community back home in government, in the de facto government, it's not a whole lot of people who want to be in government. We're wanting to recruit to be in the government and our government. There's not a whole lot of people who want to be in the de facto government. So we need to think about that when we're doing outreach. I mentioned this to Tammy. I said, we're going to look for government people, so go to their town hall meetings. Do outreach right there, because that's the people that's going to be interested in government. Go to the township meeting, the council board meetings. Those are the people you want to draw from. As I'm going to my town hall meetings, the people in the audience are the ones interested in what's going on in their community. Those are the ones you want to draw from. So when you're thinking about your outreach, think about that. You won't get a whole lot of people. So it's fine that they're coming for their inheritance, because we're the government. We're going to tell them you got to come get your inheritance. That's what we're going to tell them. We're responsible to do that. So that's a good thing. But as you're thinking about how many people you actually getting to serve in the government, I wouldn't be thinking about these grandiose numbers, because people don't want to be involved in the government and de facto. What makes you think they want to be involved with the American government, regardless how good we say we're supposed to be, right? So I just want to make that observation. Thanks, Tammy.
You're welcome. And you actually reminded me that was another thing that we changed, after I spoke to you, Louise. We decided that the town where we're going to give the county tour at the library, we're also planning to attend their town council meeting. And I drafted something that we will read. And we did it so that anybody on our assembly, eventually, as we go along, and this becomes a little bit more easier, and we're starting to feel comfortable, and we feel like we've got a groove in, we're going to split this up amongst us, and maybe I take 2 council meetings, somebody else takes 2 council meetings, and we do that in that county. And we show up. I already drafted, what we're going to read. It's actually, I don't know if you guys want me to read it, because it's a pretty friendly. We wanted it to be friendly, and we wanted it to be succinct, and to the point. That's not it. Andrew, you have a question. Go ahead.
I don't have a question, but I just wanted to comment on what you're talking about. I would suggest to you, I don't want to tell you what to do, but I would suggest, when I went to all of the little towns and cities in my county, I went to all their town council meetings. I put in, like you said, I put an official notice that the government was here on the county, that, it was an official notice so that it's on their record. But then I also stood up and read a little something, and it's funny. It's kind of like I was explaining to some people, you got to go into these council meetings, especially in the bigger cities, kind of like a robot. because they're not going to listen to you, they're not going to talk to you, they're not going to ask you any questions. So you're just there to get that notice on the record, and go up and say your little speech, and then boom, exit. I yield.
So, question: did you say that you put a notice in to get put on the agenda?
Are you talking about the council meetings agenda?
Yes.
Well, around here, you walk into any council meeting, they just have a little list. You just sign your name on there, and you're allowed to talk once you sign your name.
Ah, okay.
But
Yeah, and
when the secretary gets that list, they'd always come up to me and go, "Do you have anything?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, I have this notice here to put on the record," and they go get a copy and bring it back, and yeah.
Yeah, so our plan, and again, our plan will change when we get the experience and learn from it. But the plan is to go on to Dun and Bradstreet and get their Dun and Bradstreet report, right? Like get their corporation's report and print it up. And this is, the little, I've a little template. Basically, I can read it to you guys, but it's just greeting council members, law enforcement staff, and the general public. My name is Tammy Healy, and I currently serve the New Jersey Assembly Land and Soil Jurisdiction Government as the chairman. My purpose and intent for coming to your meeting today is to first and foremost inform you of the great fraud that has been perpetrated on every single man, woman, and child living in America. You see, the United States government has illegally and unlawfully converted your status from an American state national to that of a foreign corporate citizen. In doing so, they have stolen your identity, your credit, your land, and your gold. Additionally, the government in which you work for is actually a foreign corporation with a Dun & Bradstreet number, and then, I'll state it. I have provided the Dunn's report in the packet I just gave you to provide you with evidence of this fact. We, the lawful American government, we, the people government, the for, of, and by the people government, are holding a public meeting on, and then the date of our tour and the location of the tour, to explain in more detail what has happened and what we, the people, are doing about it. We are inviting all of you and the general public to this event. We hope to see you there. Thank you for your time and attention to this. And that's it.
Sounds great.
May I?
Yes, go ahead, Jamie.
Hi.
Hey.
Jamie in Louisiana. Tammy, can we get a written copy of your statement? I think that's great. Very succinct and to the point.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And like I said, I'm going to, when we go, I'll have that thing that I just read. I'll have that along with the report of the Dun and Bradstreet. Or, if I have to pay for it, whatever, we'll get the whole report of all their financials and all their corporations' information and staple it together and give it to each of the council members and have it as part of the record.
All right. So if you could, email that out perhaps to your list
absolutely.
for this when you send out the replay link.
Yeah, I'll do that.
For this call. All right. That's all. I yield. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, and so thank you, Louise, for the reminder. And it was such a great idea. Every time we have our county tours, I usually call Louise up and tell her kind of the highs and lows. And, usually she gives some really great advice and, feedback for us. But again, like I said, if you watch the playback, if you guys have any suggestions for us, we would appreciate that. And when we go live, I'll let's see, our county tour is going to be after our next international outreach meeting for next month. So, we'll have more of a date and time and place that we can report. And then, so if you want to mark it on your calendars to watch the live event, you can. So, anybody else have any questions before I move on? We have Cristina giving us a little presentation. David, go for it.
Hey, Tammy. So I wondered if I might have sort of spoke up earlier, but you said specific wins. I did want to as I told you in the email about, I want to share with you guys some an idea that I think would really cause a mass awakening pretty fast. And I think that this is the forum, the think tank, right? The outreach think tank. I think it's the forum. I need help on it because the idea is one thing, the implementation is another. So if there's time in this meeting, I'd like to share that. I'm not asking to do it now, but whenever it's convenient, if it is.
Yeah. How about I put you on the agenda for next month?
Yeah, you could. You could. I would just say that the way things are going, um, the war in Iran and the big potential of, I mean, if they continue this route, the whole world will starve. And it seems like that's their intention. It seems like their intention is to starve us and enslave us, take our energy away, and bring in their QFS and kill a lot of people through all this world war. And it's just and it just seems to me that it's pretty urgent. And I think that if we could get started on it sooner rather than later, I think that it would make a big difference. So I mean, I wouldn't have to take much time, but whatever you think.
All
It's
right.
not
Well,
looking
look, Christina is going to be giving us a presentation. I've got
sure.
Louise giving us some updates on the American Government Resurgence Project. If we have some time after that, we could do that. Otherwise, we'll add it to next
Okay.
month. Or if you want me to share out your email and anybody wants to contact you who's interested, to help you with this outreach initiative, we could do that as well.
Yeah, whatever works.
Okay. All right, Christina, I am
Thank you.
giving, oh, you're welcome. Christina, I'm giving the floor over to you, my dear.
Thank you, Tammy. And I had a comment too about uh, Jimmy Fulton. Jimmy Fulton he is all about preparedness and stuff. So I can throw his email out in there because you might find some help from him in his meetings. But so for the presentation.
Christina, you're talking about for David, right?
Yes, for David.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you hear that, David? Jimmy Fulton. He leads the militia international trainings, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
he
Okay.
does. And
And
I have his monthly Zoom invite link. And my husband also, who is the Colorado Militia Coordinator Commander, he also has quite a bit of information on preparedness and just stuff like that.
Beautiful. Thank you.
so what was the I didn't I missed the initial. I'm sorry what you said.
No worries.
Christina,
I have Jimmy Fulton. Oh, go
Sure.
ahead, Tammy.
no, you go ahead.
Jimmy Fulton. Okay. Jimmy Fulton is the Washington Assembly Militia Commander, and he talks a lot about some of the content that you were just discussing, and so does my husband, and just overall awareness and preparedness. And I have both of their emails and Jimmy Fulton's Zoom link that he does monthly that I can share with you. I probably won't be able to get it into the chat until after the presentation, but I'll throw that up in there.
Yeah, that would be great. I think that through the idea that I have, I think it's like 100%, and I think we'll have the assemblies filled with people that want to work like really fast. So, yeah, I'd appreciate all the help that anyone can do here to get my idea
For
out.
sure.
Thank you.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and pull up this presentation. So I'm sharing a PDF into the chat. If you guys want to follow along through clicking on that, downloading it, it could be helpful because I'm going to be showing and sharing my screen for the Microsoft Forms 365. Oh, and yeah, I'm Christina. I'm from the Colorado Assembly. I dabble into it. I dabble in outreach. I co-host the presentations monthly with outreach. And I host and attend meetings. I'm more of a very active member in outreach. I learned everything I know from Nick Kratzer, who was the outreach chair for and Joan Homick. They taught me the presentation so I could start having them monthly for everybody in Colorado so that we can get some people in the assembly and paper it up. And we have gotten quite a bit of people papered up since we were very, very fruitful for the first year of having people come to the presentations that we hosted and also joining the assembly. We still have people joining our assembly actively. Kalena in events also has a lot to do with outreach, and she has people joining all the time. But yeah, so what I'm going to share is something called Microsoft 365 Forms. I believe that it is a licensed platform. Though you would only need one person to actually have the license, and I didn't get the price on it because I'm not the one who's licensed. I was an assembly member came on and said, hey, I have this Microsoft 365 and I can add I can add multiple people to have access to it if anybody's interested. So I jumped on that and I have been able to find so many tools that are available, and one that has been helpful with outreach and with outreach and just, in general, some assembly tasks, because I also use this in other, I also use this in the militia pillar where I created a preparedness form. And in outreach, I created a presentation feedback form. Simple, and I'm going to just pull it up here real quick on the screen so that you guys can see what I'm talking about. Okay. And I might have to turn off my camera because my computer's not liking it on. So one sec. Okay. Perfect. So hi, everyone. Thanks for joining. Today, I'm going to walk you through how to create a beautiful functional survey using Microsoft Forms in literally minutes. It's super simple. And I also have another member, Tim Hageman, who does surveys through SurveyMonkey, which he has a great process on how to do that successfully if your assembly doesn't want to get a license for the Microsoft 365. So he may or may not be able to get on the meeting. I did send him the invite and I talked to him just before the meeting. So he's going to try to get on there. So this is what it looks like. You can make surveys, quizzes, invitations, registrations, but the surveys I've created, Colorado Assembly's presentation feedback form. So Microsoft Forms is a free tool that lives inside your Microsoft 365 account. It's perfect for quick surveys. Feedback forms, you can even make event RSVPs or even quizzes, which I think would be awesome. The best part is you get live results and very nice looking charts without any extra effort. You can have more than one collaborator, so more people involved can have access to the survey. So first you're going to want to type into your browser forms.office.com. And you just search forms in the Office portal. One sec. Which is here, new forms. And are you able to see my mouse? Oh, right. Or do I need to make it bigger?
I believe we could see your mouse. Yes.
Okay,
I
wonderful.
can see it. Yeah.
Great. So this is kind of the fun part, and that's adding questions. You can click quick start, obviously, and you can choose choice. And it gives you options 1, 2, but you can add another option or add other as an option. You would type your question here, like something really quick and simple. It is very the less amount of questions you have, the better the form, because people don't like sitting and filling out a huge, long drawn out survey. So you can also add a new question. You can have a text or a date section. Probably would be best to have this above the question, where they can enter the date. You also have rating scales. For example, if you say, how did you think that the presentation was on a scale of 1 to 10? Those are cool because you can change that up to 5 stars or even up to 10 stars. And I like that. That's part of my survey. I like seeing that. I believe that we've only had 10 stars on the question of how did you like the presentation. Make important ones required. So with these questions, when people fill them out, you can click here where it says required. And that means that they can't go to the next question until they answer that question. My surveys that I didn't require anybody to answer any question because I wanted it to feel laid back and not forceful in any way. And it also helped me see what questions people were uncomfortable in answering, or just maybe uncomfortable, or whatever reasons they didn't answer some questions. It's interesting when you get the results for sure. But yes, if you want it to look nice, you can come up here to, well, I guess you can come up here to templates here, and you can choose a template. I've actually never done a template before, so I guess it would turn your survey into a general outlook. I guess that could be good. What I do is I press style, and I like to use our assembly seal. And the way to do that is you would go to customized, upload an image, and then you can click on upload, so where you can get to your computer's files in order to have that seal. I love using our seal with everything that I create because it's just good. And you can also make a QR code for free online to whatever you're wanting people to go to, so that it's quick. You add the seal, you have a clickable QR code that you can put onto a graphic, and boom, there's an outreach strategy. So anyways, you can style if you don't want to get too technical. Obviously, there's their styles that they have, which some of them move. That's new. And what else? So click theme on the top right and pick a style that matches your brand, or add your own logo. You hit preview here. Let me make this bigger. Oh, there we go. I'm sorry. I minimized the screen earlier so I could, my bad. It's probably really hard to see. Is that better? I hope so.
Yeah, no, you were good. This is better, but you were okay. We could still see it. It was a little bit smaller, but now it's bigger. You're good.
Cool. So submit a test or submit preview here. Then you'll be able to see what, oh goodness, technical details. Of course. The first time I get technical details issues is when I do a presentation on this forms. That's my luck though. Hold on. So it didn't like that. Do you still see? Let me see what you guys see. Okay, cool. It didn't like that for some reason. So I'm just gonna go open the actual presentation form that I created so that it's a better view, since we're going to be previewing. This is the one I made for Colorado. So we're going to go back to where we were, which is preview. So you get to see when you're done doing the survey, what it'll look like on a computer or a mobile. And then you can even go through the survey and see how people would see it on their phone, which is really awesome, I think. I think Microsoft Forms is pretty awesome in general. The capabilities of it. If you guys want, I can scroll through the questions really slowly just to give you an idea of what the actual presentation feedback form is, if you'd like. I'm not going to read everything unless you guys want me to. Yes, I can share it in chat and you guys can check it out. Yeah.
If you want to just scroll through it like you're doing now, just so we can kind of glimpse over everything and bring it all the way to the end. And yeah, we could look through this more in details in our own leisurely time. But yeah, thank you.
Now, Christina, is this the form you use after the presentation you all give out in your public meetings or?
Yes.
Outreach
Or
meetings?
actually, no, not in the public meetings. This form is not presented to anyone in the public meetings, which Kalena and I actually have discussed about getting it in a PDF version, possibly, so that it can be filled out. That's
May
a great
I,
idea.
Christina?
Yes, go ahead.
So if you're giving a slide presentation, because what I'm thinking is at the end of our slide presentation, we could add the QR code up to the slide. That way the audience, when they're sitting there, we could say, could you please scan this? And there's, I don't know, a brief, 6 to 10 question survey. If you could just fill this out for us. And and you could probably get them to do it right then and there.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And that is fantastic, Tammy. I'm gonna, at the end of me scrolling through this, I'll show you exactly how easy it is to have that QR code available to have to give to people at the end of your slide in public. So,
New visitor.
oh, collect responses. That's how you would be able to share a link here. And if you click here, you get a cool little QR code that it creates for you. You download it and you save it to somewhere on your computer. Oh goodness, my computer didn't like that. Okay, you download it and then boom, you have this QR code available so you could share with your right after your presentation. But if people, sometimes some people don't know how to use the QR codes or they don't have that feature on their phone. So you can go more old school, which is using this URL. It's really long, so I always shorten my URL by clicking this box here. You copy the link. And then since I'm on this meeting, I'm going to go straight to chat, for example. If you're ever doing a live a Zoom meeting for like a General Assembly Zoom meeting and you want to share this link that you just created, I just opened up chat and then I'm putting it in this chat as well. If you check it out, it will come under my responses though as a participant responding. So if you do check it out, just be like International Outreach Think Tank member or something like, so I'll know the difference between, I'm sure I should know the difference, but yeah. So that's what the link looks like in chat, just by that. Oh, I guess since I did download it, I might as well show you what that download looks like as well. Oh, goodness. And I guess it crashed. That normally never happens. Let me close this. So normally when I click on that, I'm able to pull up the QR code and share it right then and there. One second. Sorry. I live off grid, so I have wireless Wi-Fi and my husband's watching this meeting too from his laptop, so he's going to jump off and maybe some features will work. Go ahead. Okay, so once you're happy with the survey though, oh, here you go, collaborate or duplicate. You can, if you like the way the format that your survey is in, you can duplicate it and change up the questions and use it for like a whole nother set of questions. I really like the way this design is. Like I said, this is our logo for the Colorado Assembly. And on our public website, this image is the first thing you see on that page. So I just took a screenshot of that and put that on things that I use. This is actually, yeah, this is how it looks when you add your logo to the whole thing. This is the editing format part of the survey though. But now what's cool is that when you have people fill this out, you can go here to view responses and you'll see real-time summaries with charts and graphs. And if you need to dig deeper, you can export everything to Excel. If Excel isn't your forte, You can look at the responses individually. One sec. By clicking check individual responses. Let me move this little notification block. There we go. Check individual results. But if you wanted to just look at everything, like the charts and stuff, you'll scroll through this section. I don't know why it's showing so big. It normally doesn't show this large. Yeah. So yeah, on the scale ranking, 6 people responded. And that's they all said 10, so that's good. I'll tell you what though. Go ahead.
So after you do these presentations and you get this feedback form, since you got such a great rating, did any of these people correct their status?
Yes. Okay, let me see. Yes.
Beautiful.
These specific ones that I would have to go through them just to double check, but I'm pretty sure more than half of them corrected their status. There was one that corrected his status, but ended up changing his mind for reasons that there was lots of questions and responses, and he was a teacher. He had he needed more content to have that, I guess, that we didn't have organized or available to him. Let's see. Yeah.
Half is good though. That's actually excellent turnover.
Yeah. And if the presentations, I'm sure doing them in public with the QR code, you're going to have a much better response rate because you're right there doing the presentation. You know, you provide the link and they're there already, so it's not like they don't have time. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that
Yeah,
I feel like
because
that would be. Go ahead.
May I? I'm sorry.
No,
I'm just
totally.
curious as to how much time does it take for people to fill this out? Would you say
Oh,
it's like no more than 2 minutes? Is it 5 minutes?
so the cool thing, Tammy, is that every survey that you do, every before the end of it, it will tell you exactly how long it should take to complete the survey. Like it'll say you have this survey will take about 10 minutes. The Microsoft Forms will come up with that itself just based on the amount of questions and whether or not the question is a multiple choice or whether or not the question is you know, a written response, which I like the written response ones. It makes for a more personalized response. But I have Mitchell here, who is also on the Colorado Assembly, and he rose up his hand. Mitchell, what's up?
Thank you, Christina, for acknowledging. I just took your survey, and it takes about 7 to 12 to 16. So we'll say 7 to 16 minutes. Let's do 8 and 16. That pretty much is about what the survey takes, depending on how you answer, whether it's multiple choice or whether you choose to enter information. So again, we got less than 20 minutes to find valuable information out about who is submitting this information. So again, it's awesome. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Mitchell, is it okay if we share your results just so that people
Oh,
could...
yeah, go ahead. So I didn't answer all the questions because not all of them always apply, right?
Oh,
I don't need to say 8 or 7 or 6. How does this feel? But yeah, go ahead and show my results. That would be awesome.
And then you'll be able to see in general. Let's see, is this you? Mitchell. Okay, cool. So scrolling through it really quickly. Depending on how in depth you go with your responses on the text responses, like number 6 here is a text response. Um, so that's a good, I think that's good. Would you say 8 to 16 minutes?
Yeah, so again, I would say if I took the whole thing, it would have been about 16 to 20 minutes. But again, I answered probably half or less than the questions.
Cool.
Okay, again. So it was about 6 to 8 minutes. I was just there. I hit it up just to make sure it worked, right? Just following through the process to see if I was actually able to submit it to you. And we have proof of concept. Thank you.
Awesome. And also I wanted to let everybody know that if you can keep your questions under 10 questions, generally depending, I wouldn't tend to agree, like if you're doing this in public and you have people that you're going to be giving this QR code to people in public, I'm sure that more than 10 questions is definitely okay. Again, because you have engaged, interested people already. But giving this to people during a Zoom meeting, keeping it short, as short as you can, the better. So write questions like you are talking to a friend and people relate to that. And people will feel more comfortable with those questions and they'll relate to it. And just, what's the next thing? Oh, always test it yourself first. So the QR code and the link that you create, attempt to put that into your browser and attempt to scan that QR code. And I also do that. I also send it to Tim Hageman, who is a very active member in outreach as well, just to see his ideas, and Kalena and from the events outreach. So creating a professional survey really can take less than 5 minutes because there's so many questions that we have. Our retention members that are part of the assembly that have, we haven't seen in a while. This was so quick to do. Just a simple little survey, like why haven't you showed up, scheduling conflicts. If you have struggle, if you tend to struggle like me sometimes with the least amount of questions that you can ask with what you're trying to get accomplished, you can also, if you're not, if you're interested or not opposed to using AI, I like to use Grok. He actually, that slide that I put into chat, or the PDF I put into chat, that's actually the help that I got from Grok with presenting this presentation. If I wanted to, each one of those I asked Grok to split it up into a suitable, appropriate, and then suitable to copy and paste this presentation into individual slides. So that's why there's slide 9, slide 1, slide 2. So I could literally copy and paste and make a PowerPoint presentation to where I could have showed you. It's hard to do a PowerPoint presentation though with the visual, other than I thought live would be best. But that's a cool tool to use. Grok is best used if you make an account. The free version isn't all that, but if you have an account, you can use it to speak to Grok, and Grok will speak back to you, so that if you're not a reader, you could hear it.
Christina, may I?
Yes, please.
What is the fee to have an account with Grok?
It's free, unless you want there's levels in Grok. There's the free version. There is the free version with an account, and then there's the versions that you pay a fee with. And I have no idea about those ones. And I'm sure that those ones are way better than the version that I have, but
so you can have an account without having to pay a fee. They have a free option as well.
Absolutely. And I'll throw their the URL into chat right now.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, am I still sharing screen? One sec. Let me turn that off. Oh, no, I'm not. Okay, cool. Chat. And Tim Hageman said that he will try to jump on the meeting. He might just come at the end of it because he's in the middle of something. But he utilizes the Survey Monkey with ease, and he's a great teacher too. So if we're still on, then you guys might be able to hear from him.
Awesome. Thank you.
Christina,
Yes.
may I?
Yeah. Yes, Mitchell.
Yeah. So yesterday in our General Assembly meeting, Tim threw up a Survey Monkey questionnaire within minutes.
It's
And
so
we were
awesome.
all actually, I mean, again, it has to be some sort of preparation and skill in regards to how you do it. But he literally threw something up, and within minutes, I was able to go in there and answer the questions that he asked. It didn't take anything, and it was free.
And
Again,
anonymous, right?
and anonymous, right? Correct. That's the best thing. And if I don't want to be anonymous, that's pretty easy. I just type in my information. But yes, what was revealed to me was that we do have the ability for free to instantly take information, questionnaire, whatever it is, via Survey Monkey, and it looks like they're not yet charging us. So again, that might change because of the influx of people interested in it. But for right now, it's a beautiful system. So yeah, Survey Monkey works. And Tim showed me last night that he was able to just throw something up in the moment and make it happen. So thank you, Christina, for pointing that out. I yield.
Yeah. And if anybody has any questions too, I would be happy to answer them. And I had some questions for you, Tammy, about Survey Monkey too.
Yeah, I was just going to say, for the Survey Monkey, we covered this, I don't know, last year, I think sometime. And I remember on our assembly, we created a survey using Survey Monkey. They do, when you use Survey Monkey, you have to pay for the upgraded versions of the surveys, meaning like if you wanted to do one that required, like if you wanted to create a unique survey where you were asking people to type something in, right? It wasn't like a multiple choice or a rating. You had to pay for that upgrade to that. That was a little bit of a downfall for me using Survey Monkey. And I don't remember if Survey Monkey also offered the QR code. I think you needed to share the URL. And maybe that's changed since last year. I haven't gone back just because, I'm wearing way too many hats. And, back then I was just focused on outreach and had the time to review some of this. But Cristina, if you've been on Survey Monkey, do you know if they also use a QR code?
I don't know if they use a QR code. I remember last year when you had mentioned Survey Monkey, and I actually jumped on there, made an account then. But again, I was wearing multiple hats, and it ended up I didn't
Yes.
press on with that. But recently, when we were doing some elections, Tim jumped on Survey Monkey during open forum, which is after hours open forum, and we're just playing around with like different options, and he pulls up Survey Monkey, and he's sharing his screen, like boom boom boom, like he makes a 2-question survey, 3-question survey, had the link to share. I think it was a URL. But it had words in it. It was a URL that said what the survey was. I don't remember a QR code. If Mitchell does, let me know.
There was no QR code. It was a link. There was
Tammy,
no QR code that you could scan. Now,
the cool thing is, go ahead, Mitchell.
No, I was just going to add that there was, as far as I knew at that time, no QR code. It was a link. However, I do believe the QR code could be something that could very easily be installed and initiated.
Very,
Right?
like I
So
kind
we're
of,
not like, I mean, all you got to do is put it on the link page,
I can
right?
share my screen and show you guys real quick.
So let me ask you, if you don't mind, since we're talking about both the SurveyMonkey and the Microsoft forms. Since you guys have used both versions, what do you like? What resonates the most with you? What's more user friendly? What do you like the most?
Well, gosh, that's a great question. And I wish I've used SurveyMonkey more. After seeing what Tim was doing and how easy it was, I feel like they both have ease to them. The only thing is Microsoft 365. I believe that is a paid version of the Microsoft, and it's the only reason I have access to it is because I'm under
Somebody else's license, yeah.
license. Yeah.
Well, what I find as a benefit, if you don't mind me kind of interjecting here, is that with the Microsoft 365 is it already gives you the option of downloading the Microsoft Excel, where it creates the bars and the graphs and all that other stuff. That's kind of a nice feature if you have, and which I do. I have Microsoft Word and PowerPoint presentation in Excel. So I already have a subscription, which is why this is appealing to me. But I agree, the SurveyMonkey was easy, and it's a free website to kind of combat that QR code. I know we also have a subscription for a QR code generator because we use that also in our slide presentations. We create QR codes to bring people to more information, and we have created a sheet that has all the QR codes from the PowerPoint presentation that we're giving so that people can go home with those QR codes and look up the information more. So that's kind of part of our handout. But so anyway, you could probably use that like a QR code generator for this SurveyMonkey and still have the kind of the same effect.
Absolutely. You can absolutely do that. And there are some QR codes, free QR code generators. And I've only used the free QR code generators for any content for QR codes that I want to make for other content that aren't Microsoft forms, like for our website, the Colorado Assembly, our public website, coloradoassembly.org. I just went onto a free QR code maker. You just got to be careful because there are some QR code maker generators that the QR code will expire after X amount of time. You got to make sure to get a QR. Go ahead, Mitchell. Yeah, sorry, I didn't see your hand.
So no, you're golden. So in regards to this, the basic thing is not about what we can do as programmers or creators of this content. It needs to be usable by our persons, our people that are doing the surveys, right? Again, it isn't about how you can create it or how easy it is to create a survey. It's the use and the ability for me to log on and take a survey in the moment. Not like has to do with anything, I don't need to be all like on 12 different sites and do 12 different authentications to get there. SurveyMonkey allows me to click on the link, I take a survey, and I submit, period. It's easy, right? There isn't a bunch of vocal carb. If anyone's over like 30 that knows what that means, I yield.
Awesome. Thank
SurveyMonkey is
those
cool.
points.
SurveyMonkey is cool. I'm sorry, Tammy. I do really enjoy the Microsoft though, because not only do you get Microsoft Forms, but with the Microsoft 365, you have so much opportunity and ease with the way it's set up to not only do surveys, but to make quizzes. Say, okay, you have your website, all the content on your website, highlight all of the words, copy it, paste it into Grok, and tell Grok to create a quiz based on just the content that you have on your website for your assembly members to take, for people or it's obviously public information, your website. So you can even have it available for people that aren't papered up at like on your website, like, hey, take this quiz to, like it's like in the forms part that I was in, you can create quizzes. I think that'd be helpful. I'm also, after seeing and being on this meeting tonight, like I was thinking, there was a few people at the beginning that were saying stuff about creating content or like stuff to teach people. I believe in the assembly, like the treaties, where all the treaties that there have ever been are something that I don't even know. I haven't even read all the treaties. And that would make me interested in getting all those treaties, putting them on a Word document, and then I would take that and have Grok make a quiz from all those treaties to help people retain information. Because I'm one of those learners that you literally have to read it, see it, do it, hear it to have it sink in. So yeah.
I love all this, all these tools that you're bringing, to the to the meeting tonight, and it's getting my wheels spinning. I don't know about anybody else, but I think that that's an excellent tool for education. Because if you are giving a presentation on educating, and it could even be just education for your assembly, that you have this ability to take a quiz and see what you are retaining. This way you know what you need to continue to repeat, because, for whatever reason, people aren't getting it, so maybe then you could go back to the drawing board and figure out a different way to present the information and then take the quiz again. And, I think it's a great tool. I mean, this is really great information. Does anybody have any questions for Cristina?
I actually have one thing that I wanted to share with everybody.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Along with the surveys and everything, I used to have an Adobe used to have the Adobe software because I was in multimedia graphic design for some time. But I no longer have that software. And a lot of content that I was making in outreach through Adobe, I'm like, man, how am I going to create content at ease without my Adobe? I just found an amazing free way to make content for outreaching, for education, for members, for so much that's so beneficial, I think. And because it's free, it's called Canva. If anybody knows anything about that, it's fantastic. Like,
yeah, we've been using it. That's mostly what all of us are using to create all of our slide presentations. I know Pennsylvania has, all of this stuff, mostly that we're creating. When we share it on the ice drive, if you have a Canva account, you could very easily just open it up on Canva and edit it that way. Yeah, we are familiar with Canva.
Yeah. I was doing,
it is great, right?
It's fantastic. I do a certificate of excellence, and it's not monthly. It's just whenever I have time to go on the General Assembly meetings and ask and try to round up people to recognize someone, either privately or right there during the meeting or like in chat. So the certificate of excellence I did in Adobe. And I'm like, my Firefox just quit, so I can't share that. But if you've maybe got a glimpse of it, I couldn't edit that and I created that certificate myself. And so I was so bummed out. And then I got onto Canva and I was able to actually edit the text to change because we got some new nominations for the certificate of excellence, and I was able to change the name, which is fantastic because I had the last two certificates that were so mediocre, and I did it off Word, and I'm like super disappointed. Got on Canva, and I'm like, this is pretty good, like pretty awesome. So I do recommend Canva for anything outreachy or anything graphics. Like, I yield.
Awesome. That was an excellent presentation. Thank you so much. And to, I think it was Mitchell, right? Mitchell that hopped in and was, helping along with that as well. I know I took a whole bunch of notes, and we have the playback in case we need to, replay on how to create those. I would agree, Christina. It looks like the Microsoft Forms is pretty easy to create these surveys and things. And thank you for sharing the grok. I will say to everybody, she put a whole bunch of information in the chat. There's a PDF on their for a slide. She's got the link for their survey. She put the grok website in there, and then also SurveyMonkey. So make sure you grab all that, before the meeting's over. And if any, I'm going to open the floor up to anybody that wants to ask Cristina any questions, and then we'll move on. Mitchell, go ahead.
Awesome. Thank you for acknowledging. So in regards to grok, one of the things that I will add is that this AI has been very helpful. However, you must question some of the answers and the information that comes from grok. Okay? Because sometimes the information is just newspaper, black and white. Yeah, that exists. The ground is soil, the air is air, and water is water. But when you question grok, like, but wait a minute, why is there so much aluminum in the soil, and what entities are responsible for this contamination? Grok says sometimes, blah, 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 just the standard like report. So again, just taking grok at face value, I request that you don't. Dig it a little deeper. Find the skin that grok may be protecting. Because again, this is all information that's out there that AI has on a surface level encyclopedia type reference. Okay. You ask grok, what is air? It's O2. What is being sprayed in the air? Nothing. Again, so I just want to share that we need to look into what the responses of grok are and not just take them for face value. Again, I love grok. I've been pushing it for like a year and a half now. Okay. But again, I did realize there were limitations, and grok isn't the end all be all.
Do you yield, Mitchell? I'm sorry.
Of course I yield. I do apologize. I, Mr. Langford on Rio Grande, yield.
All right, thank you. And I'm just going to, expand a little bit on what Mitchell was saying. This all goes back to self-governing, right? Like, and not blindly trusting. I mean, it's not just with AI, but it's with everything. We no longer can afford to live in a world where we blindly trust anything. So it is our responsibility to hold everything to account and do our due diligence and make sure that what we are using for information actually holds water. We can't just blindly trust. The AI is there to use as a tool mostly to do these kinds of things, right? To help us to create slide presentations with information that we get to input, right? Like Cristina, you were saying, you could take Anna's articles and copy, paste it, and have them create a questionnaire, a quiz, whatever. But everything has to be reviewed and make sure that it's truthful, honest, and has all the information. We can't just blindly trust. So Mitchell, thank you for pointing that out. Christina, did you have your hand up, or you wanted to add something?
Yeah, I basically was going to say somewhat along the same things. When I do use Grok, Mitchell is right in sometimes, I guess the wordings, Grok sometimes puts them in a way that we wouldn't want to use. Like, for example, like he would use the word persons more instead
Right.
of a man and woman. I everything I do with Grok, I proofread it. Anything that has something like that I don't want in there, I obviously change it to man or woman or he or she.
Yeah. And they
So that's
use
definitely,
sometimes citizens,
yeah.
right? Like the citizens, and it's like, nope, the people.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
do know, like if you're on a one-man boat or two-man boat or very little help when doing this content, it does sometimes get time consuming. Though when there's more than just when there's a group of you, we come out with some good stuff. Like we host I was hosting a brochure, updating our brochure back in 2024. I had lots of people interested in showing up. We had created great content, and from the content we created good sketches of a brochure. We have a graphic designer who put everything together, but with those sketches and all those ideas, they were documented. And so we can make more brochures with just what the different ideas that came about with that. And yeah.
Yeah,
Have you guys seen Colorado's brochure?
I agree. I think that having a lot more heads together to help with the work is so much more conducive for what we're doing. It is time consuming, and it's going to be a beautiful day when more and more people start stepping into their sovereignty and their power. And instead of being a spectator, in life and in our government, they actually become a participant and actually start doing the work. So, but that's why, this group is here, right? So the assemblies that are struggling or don't have a lot of help, this sharing the content and the materials and the resources is so extremely helpful. And so we're blessed that Cristina, you came on tonight to show us this and allow us to use it as a tool and teach us how to use it. And we're just really grateful. So thank you to your assembly too. And unless anybody has anything else they'd like to ask Cristina, I'm going to move on to Louise to give us any updates that she may have for the American Government Resurgence Project.
Thank you, Tammy. I'm going to put in the chat what I'm going to go over. It's going to be quick. Here. I'm going to share my screen. Okay, here we go. So first few updates. Ooh. Then the iStrive link, that's just a reminder. It goes to that first document, permission use document, so you can go over the permission uses for all the Resurgence Project material. And then inside that document, it links to open link a new tab. Read this first, and then that document will link you into the iStrive where the materials are. For the peacekeepers, Tammy already mentioned the podcast, the new podcast that Joe has going on. This is really a good podcast for our peacekeepers because it's focusing really on the peacekeeping aspect of our government how it has developed from 2014 and something, even as far back as 2012 with some of those articles. He's just reviewing all of Anna's articles from Article 1 all the way through 5,000 and so on. So it's a great undertaking he decided to do, but it's only from the peacekeepers' perspective. Continental marshals, county sheriffs, the de facto marshals, and all from the perspective, what was Anna saying in those articles? So that's what the podcast is about. So it's an education for our peacekeepers if they could follow along in that podcast. He puts out at least one, but sometimes 2 and 3 each week. There's a change that I'm making here to the peacekeepers and the law enforcement reference guide. I'm going to give you an example. We'll give you the change that I'm making. I haven't solidified it yet, but what I'm changing is down here on page 3, over here on this right-hand section, it was a suggestion from one of our PKTF liaisons to why not put the PKTF liaisons contact information in this section, so that, because it's the peacekeepers who's going to be using these documents, predominantly the marshals, the militia commanders, the county sheriffs, the liaisons, when they're going out there talking to the de facto counterparts, they're going to be educating them using this document. So I'm upgrading this document with that suggestion and putting an area down here at the bottom where the PKTF liaisons contact information will go. And the other suggestion was, why just go ahead and create a generic one where you just leave that section blank, so that any of you who may not be a peacekeeper or who may not be a liaison, when you're out there, you can just put in your contact information, write it in on the spot while you're talking to somebody. And these are used as posters for the de facto to post in there. That's how we're going to be using them. Posted it on the walls of your office or your courthouse or wherever. Depends on how our strategy goes on how we're going to deliver this. But that's what I'm changing here. That, along with at the bottom, our Continental Marshal Service. They went with a different logo. I had a gold one, but they went with silver. So they're using the white one. And then right now, they don't have their website yet. So I'm just using the chief's email address for contact information. So those are the 2 main things I've made here to this document. I haven't uploaded it yet to the iStrive, but I will. Those, if you don't see those changes yet, that means haven't made those changes yet, but they're coming. All right. Resurgence Pulse Report is late. I suppose it came out last Friday. Sorry. I am still working on it. The title this time is Restoration. So it's going to be, I'm on schedule to send it out on Friday. So
Louise, you guys see that she's frozen?
I'm planning to send it out Friday. Am I frozen?
You were frozen, but I just wanted to say, you know, what the heck is taking you so long? I mean, geez, you're leaving us waiting here. Come on. I mean, get on it already, will you?
So yeah, that should be ready Friday. And then the Assembly Ledger, it was released on the 28th. I'm going to give you a preview of that. So to get the current issue, here's the one that just came out. It comes out every quarter. It's $12 subscription. The link there is in my little notes there.
That's a yearly subscription, correct?
Yes, that's $1 a month or $3 a quarter. So what he does with these, the first one was just published straight out the gate, just published on the website. But going forward, you'll need a subscription in order to get it when it's published. Then after that quarter is over and the new one come out, the old one will go on the website and the new one will need a subscription in order to get the new one. And then once that quarter is over and the new one comes out, that one goes on the website. So that's how he chose to do that. I'm going to give you a sneak preview. So you give you a reason to go get your subscription. So this is the first page. Missouri Assembly and New Jersey's outreach county tour was featured here on the home page, and then the Peacekeeping Task Force, the Resurgence Post Report, that was featured here, and we have the whole entire article of how our State of the Union, New Jersey, went, how their tour has gone. They got I guess it was Burlington County was the county that they visited. So any of you all, and I'm sharing this so that any of you assemblies who are out there doing county tours or county meetings, in their with the public, we would like to hear about it. We would like to feature it in the newspaper. That's more of this post report. Now here is a section on local community. So one article was about journalism. This other article was actually from my community about a tornado, and the question that came up with a weather forecaster who was reporting on this was asking the question about climate. Well, was presenting the idea that climate change is causing tornadoes to act differently. And you know what that sparked in my mind? Climate change, or do you mean weather modification? So I did an article on my take of how that tornado went. And actually this young man here was in my community. He passed away. It was only maybe 2 people out of the whole long area of where the tornado went that passed away, and it happened to be somebody we knew. So I did an article on that. And then, so anything happening in your community that you want to report on, what we're doing with our journalism classes which is every other Saturday. The next one will be this coming Saturday, and the link is in my notes there.
Time.
It is 7:45 to 9 Eastern.
PM.
Mm-hmm. So we're helping people to know the specifics about how to write fair and balanced news, because we are getting ready to have a serious news platform, and we need to be serious reporters and to be taken seriously. So that's what the journalism classes are for. So got a section here on our state militias, and we'll always have our fiduciary office always want us to feature and focus militia and peacekeeping. So it will always have a place. So your militias that's out there organizing, this is the place where your article can go, to feature just militia assembly, community resiliency units, what your projects are, your state border defense plans, how you all are organizing, that type of thing. Any assembly out there that's doing that, we like to hear about it. We like to feature you in here. Then this section here on accountability, government accountability. Accountability looks different for U.S. government officers versus American government officers. That was an article that I put in here because we're having issues about people being transparent and accountable for their actions, even in our government. So that was something that I wanted to share my experience. Then we have weather modification and newscasting, that article, and that's a feature on the home page. This section right here, so we're looking for all the county assemblies should be listed here. All the counties are listed here, and we want each county to have a syndication here of news that's happening in your county. So he's given an example of each of these blocks. We want a reporter from that county to report what's going on in that county. We're teaching them in the journalism class how to create a newsroom, and we're using Substack. Well, we're recommending, Joe is recommending Substack to be your newsroom. And from there, from Substack, you create whatever your newsroom name is going to be, and then you'll get a spot here in the newspaper. Now, digitally, it's easy for us to put your newsroom in this newspaper, but when you start printing it, we will take this insert out because it takes too much money to print just this part, but it'll stay in the digital version of it. So after all of our newsrooms, we have, let's see what's next. Lifestyle. So there we go with our Pennsylvania Assembly hosting our 2026 family reunion. Have a piece in there on them. Continental Marshals got their new commissions. We got a featured piece on them. And then we got more on Missouri. Missouri is featured. All the things that's developing on the Missouri Assembly. We got America Assembly's forum that's been going on 2 or 3 years. I'm not quite sure exactly the time frame it's been going on, but Amethyst has been doing that for a long time. So we featured that as our self-governing piece. America has government service corporations perpetrating as governments. So we're going to start featuring business. Our government services providers are businesses. They're not the government. They're government service providers. They're businesses. So this section we just added to this edition, but it's going to be a mainstay because we're going to start talking about our banks and the transition from territorial states of states to American states of states. There has to be a transition that happens there. So that's what this section is going to be about. We featured Washington. They're getting their elections underway. The opinion section, we always have, Joe has an opinion section. He has Fellowship of Sovereigns, Rediscovering the Art of Self-Governance. And then we also have a crossword puzzle. Jurisdiction is the theme this time. And then section on innovations. So it's featuring the new podcast that he has launched. So these two sections are about the podcast. And then the last section is for like U.S. news, not U.S. news, world news. So peacekeeping beyond borders, task force, and the future of international service. So we're talking about, in this one, he's talking about the United Nations and League of Nations and what it's supposed to look like and what it looks like now, that type of thing. So that section is going to be for our foreign state assemblies and anything happening across the waters. And then that's the end of our edition. So to get that fresh copy, you go to that link, Cash App, and $12 is for that subscription. Now, and speaking on that, so I mentioned to you all that we're working on getting the news platform for phases 4 and 5, broadcasting our message. A news platform for the written news and a news platform for the video news. Now, I was thinking about, I told you before, using the Assembly Ledger maybe as the URL. And since we have an editor who has started doing our news, we can now start trying to develop it. But then Joe threw out to me, he said, well, why not call it the 1779 ledger? I'm like, so why call it 1779? He said, because of the Declaration of July 1779 that we have to do to reclaim our inheritance. I'm like, let me think about that. So in my post report, Restoration, I actually did a little research on the history of the Declaration of Dactylization of July 1779. Because I told him, well, somebody said that the date may be wrong. I said, well, I have to do some research on it. So I decided that I was going to do some. And I found that it was July 1779. I said, oh, okay. And that's a conversation starter just by that title. When our government is handing out this newspaper, why call it July? Why is the newspaper called the 1779 Gazette? Where's that name come from? So you get to talk about, people correcting their status with the newspaper. And so that's what I'm thinking about. The URL, the 1779 Gazettes, because I originally started out with the 1776 Union, because that's how this whole project started. That was the name of it. But I'm liking Joe's suggestion now, the 17th. And when y'all see my Resurgence Pulse report, you're going to see why I like the 1779, because the historical precedence is all there. So, and I wanted to throw it out to you guys for y'all to think about it. What do you all think about that as the name of the paper? So the 1779 Gazette is what I'm leaning toward. So y'all think about that. Throw me some ideas. You can email me what you might come up with. Then I have journalism classes. There's your time there, 749 to, okay, hold on. Sorry
Louise,
about that.
may I, before you go on, could I have a question about the newspaper, if you don't mind?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Have you guys, I guess, quoted out how much it would cost to actually print? Like, where would somebody go to print up an actual newspaper?
I don't know exactly where you go. Well, you have to go to printer. So some printers do print newspapers, but you'd have to find the one in your neighborhood. I know in Kankakee County, there's a printer that does print a newspaper, but I haven't gotten that far to ask how much it would cost. But I thought we did go through that with somebody was here.
And I'm asking because it would seem like a really great means if we're going to spend, $12 or whatever, a donation to the PKTF for this work, which $12 is so reasonable. I'm almost thinking that it would be not only a great way to get the information out to people for outreach and education, but it also could equally serve as a fundraiser for your assembly. You know, if you're gonna sell it for, like, I don't know, $1.25, $2, whatever you want to sell it for, it could also act as a fundraiser if you're going to print it. And it would determine how much it was going to cost to print it. But if anybody had looked into it already, that would be some great information to have. I yield. Thank you, Louise.
If you all go, so when we do the journalism classes, it is posted on, I should have put that in here. The replays are posted on Joe's Rumble channel. And we did discuss price of how much it would cost. So I will have to get that. I'll give you that link there, Tammy. And when you send out the replay, put the link in with the replay. And it did, somebody did look that up and it was on our discussion, but I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, I think we would all like the link for the playbacks for that, because that time that you guys are having that class is not, a time that I'm going to be able to make that. And it would be nice to view it anyway and kind of be up to speed.
Yeah, I'll get
and
that.
I could share it out with the playback. I yield.
Yes, Patissa, did I pronounce that correctly?
Hi, it's Patissa.
Patissa.
Do you have like people who would buy space? I mean, that would help with if wanted to come out to really printing it out. People could buy a space and maybe advertise something like a regular newspaper. Like, are those your advertisers on the bottom?
Yeah, see, advertise here.
Okay.
So any of your businesses who want to purchase an advertised space, get with Joe. His email is there. Thank you, Patissa. Yeah. So different sections in here have the advertised space section. So you'll go and look at what those are, where those are located in there. Okay, so the last thing here for the project funding with the U.S. Capitol Bank. We've been talking to the U.S. Capitol Bank on that. I've had questions and comments and misinformation and everything else about what's going on with the U.S. Capitol Bank. So I put this link here. This link is to the PKTF U.S. Capitol Bank folder of our meetings that we've had with them. or about the funding and about documents that has been passed back and forth between the fiduciary and the bank. Some of the meetings I don't have because I didn't record, the PKTF didn't record them. We weren't the host. It was the bank that was the host, and I don't have those, but I only have the ones that we were the host. So I put them all in that folder for transparency, so anybody can go look at, what has transpired. We did have a meeting today, and I'm putting this link here. Anna did talk about her meeting with the bank in her April 6th webinar. And the thing she mentioned about how the bank operates was, I didn't think that was correct about usury. In all the meetings that I've been in with the bank president and with the trustee, Emily, you have to pay back nothing and there's no usury. So I'm not sure what information is being relayed to her or where she got that information. So I asked Emily about it. Am I missing something? Is there something about paying back loans and stuff? Because I know they do use the word loan, but it's not the typical loan that you get at a commercial bank. She says, no, that's not how our bank works. I said, well, you need to put that out something so that people can know how it works, because this is how our fiduciary thinks your bank works. So you'll hear us discussing that in the banking meeting we had today. And we are trying to, the bank president just had a baby. The family just had a baby like last week. So we're trying to get back in the saddle. He's trying to get back in the saddle. And the next meeting we need to have, and you'll hear us talking about it in our replay, is with the fiduciary and the bank president, like a diplomatic meeting, so that they can learn who each other are, who each other is. Out of all this time, they don't know the other one exists. And that's what you'll be hearing us talk about. Like, how do they not know that this is the fiduciary for the American government and this one has all the gold? How haven't they met this? And now that they know that each other exists, why they're not in each other's face? So this is how we talk in our meetings. So we have to make sure this meeting happens, so this diplomatic conversation can happen, so we can get everything straightened out about our assets. And more strategies that I'm going to be coming forward with as far as county tours and the presentations in those meetings is what we discussed also. So Emily will bring forward a correction to how actually the bank works and in our conversation when we talk to the fiduciary, so that everybody will get that corrected information, so that it doesn't harm the reputation of the bank, because that's not how the bank actually works. I think that is all I have on the update for the banking and the funding. Any questions? Christina.
Hey, Louise. I just want to let you know what you have up on screen. I basically copied and pasted it into chat so that anybody here could just click on the link and then bookmark that page on their browser for ease more than anything, because I know that a lot of times with these, I'll download this and then it'll be a week or so before I look at it. So if anybody's interested, you can, everything she has on her screen, I have in chat, so you can just click it, get right to wherever it is. Louise, do you want me to also share your contact information on there? I didn't share that.
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I yield.
All right, Tammy, I yield. Thank you, Christina.
Awesome. I just want to say bravo. The PKTF, you guys are doing an excellent job. And I just would like to say that it's disheartening to see some people naysaying the PKTF and not supporting the PKTF, even though it's a federation chartered organization. And the federation chartered the PKTF long before any of our state assemblies were actually called back into session. So please keep that in mind. And that I am want to put it out there that if your assembly does not have a PKTF liaison, that it's probably should be a priority to get a PKTF liaison for specific reasons, mostly for emergency response and for collaboration. You know, the PKTF is there to support our state assemblies and to help when there's major disasters. And I just want to say that since I've been working with Louise, Louise has been nothing but professional and helpful and completely transparent. Anytime somebody has come to me with any kind of an issue that they're not trusting her or warning me, and believe me, I have been warned, that I have just come to Louise and asked her straight out, you know, hey, what's your intentions here? And she's been nothing but transparent and honest with me. And I do question the integrity, the character, and the motives of the person that did warn me about her. And another thing I'd like to just say is that Joe Hayes has been nothing but supportive. And he gives great advice. He's working so hard with all the things that man does in addition to a full-time job. God bless him. I mean, God bless him. And thank God that we have men and women like the women and men we have serving our PKTF. And with that, I'm going to open the floor up to anybody else that would like to speak. And I'm just going to say, David, it is late. It's 9:45. This is a late meeting. I'm going to say that I will share your email address if you'd like me to. And I could also add you to the agenda for our next meeting next month. But I'll open the floor up. Let's just try to keep it brief because, like I said, it is late. It's 9:45.
You're giving me an opportunity to speak. Is that what you're saying? Or you're gonna do an alternative email thing? I didn't quite get what you said. I'm sorry. I'm really tired too. Forgive me. I'm just barely hanging on.
Yeah, no worries.
It's only 6:30 over here, so that'll tell you.
Yeah, it's 9:45 our time. No, I'm opening the floor up for any questions for Louise.
Oh, for Louise.
Or yes, and then like I said, David, if you would give me permission to, I will let people know that you are looking for collaboration on an outreach initiative and that they could contact you. And in addition to that, we could also add whatever it is that you want to discuss to our next meeting.
Okay,
So,
that sounds good. Yeah, you can share my email and my phone number if you like. That would be fine with me.
okay, perfect.
Do you have my number?
I don't know, but
it was yeah. I put it in the I always put it in email correspondence.
Oh, so then I should have it. Yeah.
Yeah, you'll have it. Thank you. All right. Thank you,
You're
Tammy.
welcome. You're welcome. All right, Christina, go ahead.
Hey, I noticed Tim jumped on the meeting. Thank you, Tim, for coming. Mitchell was on today with me as well. This is Tim Hageman. He's the one who did the Survey Monkey. And yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Tim, thank you for jumping on. And thank you for sharing. You know, Cristina and Mitchell did an excellent job representing, you know, your outreach committee on Colorado. And we just are so grateful for the work that you guys are doing and that you shared with us.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me. This is great that you guys meet. This is the first time I've been here, and I love it. I love what Louise shared earlier. I wasn't completely aware of what transpired if she was able to trade AFDs with that bank. Is that kind of where that was going? I'm not sure. I came in late and I apologize.
Yeah, no worries. I think what Louise was trying to clear up is that there is a bank in California that has our assets.
Actually, it's in Dubai.
Oh, it's in Dubai. Thank you for clearing that up. Yes. And so Louise has made some arrangements to get their president of the bank in communication with our fiduciary so they could work out how, you know, these two should come together and, you know, and work together. Like, and Louise was basically explaining to us that neither one of them knew that they existed. And so, you know, there's communication taking place and collaboration and, you know, building the relationship and figuring out who's who.
Yeah, I love it, Luis. You're doing a great job. I'm just inspired by what you go after. So thanks for doing that. I think it was probably a year ago. I think I saw a video where you were presenting the inheritance and a way to outreach to others and get the word out. And I really was inspired by that also. So I work with Chris and Cristina and whoever else ever shows up to our outreach meetings, and really inspired by you guys. So glad to be here. And yes, I have been doing some Survey Monkey stuff, and I know it's getting late, so maybe next time I can share something if you like, whatever you want to do. I can even make a little survey for us or something.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I can add, I'm going to add David, and I can add you, Tim, if you want to present.
Okay.
Our
Yeah,
next
sure.
meeting was on the agenda, but let me, I have it here. So our next meeting is scheduled for May 13th. So just
Okay.
mark your calendars. It's, I believe it's the second Wednesday of May, and it's the same time, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard.
Which is 5:30 our time.
May I? This is Mitchell on Rio Grande. Tim, I bet you could create a Survey Monkey survey to say, is everybody happy right now? Right? Like, it'd be like
does
a
it so
two-question
quickly.
survey. Do you agree with me being able to create a Survey Monkey survey in 2 minutes?
Yeah.
He is that
Literally, he
quick.
could. I thought that was what was going to happen.
Yeah, no, I actually could. I could make one right now. It's pretty easy. So if you ever want me to walk you through it, if you want me to do it next time, I can do it, or I could just share right now. I know it's getting late there.
Well, yeah, and you know,
Yeah.
we have presented SurveyMonkey before.
Oh, okay.
But like I said to the
Oh, you're muted, Tammy.
No, I
At least
hear
on my end.
I hear
No,
you.
she's not muted for me.
okay. Yeah, so so we reviewed creating a survey on SurveyMonkey. And you know, so I'm not sure if that's, you know, something that we need to review again. But if there's something specific that you think would benefit people, you know, like maybe there's a survey that, you know, you've created maybe for your assembly that maybe you would share, and all of us could, you know, maybe take your questions
Yeah.
and help, you know, create some feedback for our assembly.
Yeah. I just made one last night, and it was basically centered around our private site. Who's using it? Who's having problems? What problems you're having? And there's a free and a paid version of SurveyMonkey, as you probably already know. And then the free one doesn't have a comment box where you can just kind of type in, like, what are your
Right.
problems?
Yes.
So that's
Yeah.
kind of a bummer.
Right.
You know? That's where they get you. They're like, oh, you know, we got him now. You know, he's gonna want that comment box.
Yeah, and the comment section, if you were to get an account, I thought that the price was really expensive.
Yeah, it wasn't like $39 a month or something.
Yes, it was
Yeah.
something crazy. I'm like, wow, that's like, I don't know, what is that? Almost like 400. It's like over $400 a year. It's like,
Yeah.
no,
It's
no, thank you.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you so much for jumping on, and thank you guys for presenting tonight. And like I said, I'm going to adjourn this meeting, and we'll reconvene on Wednesday, May 13th. And just a great big thank you to everybody tonight with your input, and just sending much love to all of you. Okay.
Bet.
All right.
Thanks, Tammy.
Thank you, Tammy.
I love it.
First time I ever did
528
that.
coming your way.
You got me to do it. It's
That's
the first time I did it.
All right, guys. Have a great night, and I'll see you next month.
You too.
Night.
See
Thank you.
everyone.
Love you all.
Good
Love you
night.
too.